Welp, 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 welp. Here we are on YouTube, Ryan.
Yes, we're on YouTube, Ryan.
How are you doing, Ryan?
Good, Nathan. How are you doing? This is interesting. I'm really excited to do another Yes performance. We've done a couple. At least one.
Are you excited? Like, are you really excited?
No, but we're gonna do it. No, I'm just joking. I think we've enjoyed the Yes songs because if I remember correctly, the last one that we listened to, if I remember correctly, I remember saying that I liked how it was not too prog-ish. You know, I know they're considered kind of they are a prog band, one of the earlier ones that are out there. Don't know much about their history. I just know they're a big prog band. They're very popular. They have a big following, and they were one of the forefathers or grandfathers or whatever you want to call it of the movement. At least they were there at the beginning. But I remember I hate the term radio friendly. That's not what I'm trying to get at, but it's the song that we listened to wasn't overwhelming. Like, I got to figure out the beats and the movements and like, look how good we are at changing every 5 seconds. But anyway, so I don't know if that's what we're going to get here. This is from a 3-track album. We are listening to the opening track. Yeah. So I forgot the name of the album. I apologize. I had it up on iTunes and now it's gone. So it's the first track on their 1974 album, I believe, called Relayer. Okay.
So
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
After we did the last Yes reaction, my daughter was very excited because she knew that song.
What?
Yeah, my oldest daughter. So she messaged me to say, like, I love that song. It's the best song. She told me about a little bit of history about it. I can't remember it anymore. But
oh, wow. Okay. I'm glad I looked this up. That's cool. Tell your daughter. That's awesome. Relayer is their 7th studio album, and it came out in 1974. Wow. That's crazy. So the album is referred to as a progressive rock, jazz, fusion type album. This is track 1 of 3. Basically, we're almost doing an album review. But I figured since this is a Patreon request from Daniel, and he didn't give us like which version to listen to, but this is from Yes's official website or YouTube site, and it's a live performance of it. So I figured if it's good enough for Yes, it's good enough for Daniel, and it's good enough for us. So let's check it out.
I can see the bell bottoms from a mile away.
I love it. Okay. Love it. Like it a lot.
All right, here goes.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
He looks familiar.
Looks like Gary Sinise from Forrest Gump.
We have a few buzzers.
After the war. Captain Dan or whatever.
What we'd like to do is to play side 1 of Relayer for you. The Gates of Delirium.
Yeah, so they even know that this is the first side of her album. That's funny. Great footage for that time. Like their camera angles. That's not a great camera angle there. pause it real quick. Pause it really quick.
Okay.
I think this is important since we're not too deep into the track. It is 22 minutes long. So, the song is based on Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace.
Oh.
So it does begin with a lengthy vocal section. This is, of course, from Wikipedia, but it's for you and me and other people who might not know. Followed by a long instrumental section, beginning around the 8-minute mark, representing the battle. So the final section, occurring about the 16 minutes in, was released as a single entitled "Soon." And that's a very gentle. So when it gets to the point, it's a very gentle or soothing prayer for peace and hope, which represents the aftermath of the battle. So there you go. It's based on War and Peace, so that will make sense when we read the lyrics, if you've got the lyrics up at home. And then it goes into the battle, which I guess is the big musical part, and then the softer part, which is, I guess, they kind of release as a single. So there you go.
Well, it makes sense for a really long song for a really long book.
Exactly. So there you go. Just a little bit of background, just context. Now we'll continue without any pauses, so people don't add us in the comments.
Yeah. You thought you said you don't pause
Yeah,
it.
you said you don't pause.
Stand and fight with you, consider reminded of an inner pact between us that's seen as we go. And right there, emotion to feels in debts of honor. Stand the marchers, soaring talons, peaceful lives will not deliver freedom. Fighting we know, destroy oppression, point to reaction, as leaders look to you, attacking. Choose and renounce, throwing chains to the floor. Kill or be killing, that's the sins, correct the blow. Casting giant shadows of mass penetrating force. The ultra fire, the war not seen, afflictions like the spinning rubber, steady fluid to the deep. Shouting screams of anguish, horsemen flashing bespoils our soul deceiver. Surely we know, in glory we rise to offer, create our freedom, a word we utter, a word. Words falls our banner, victorious our day. The silence be promised as violence display. The curse increase, we fight the power and live by it by day. Our dogs awaken, thunderous roars, our guide, our leaders, our zipper, glory to the cause.
That sweet camera angle again.
Should we fight forever, knowing as we do know, fear destroys the sun? Should we leave our children Our lives there in silence. Help us now. Listen, your friends have been broken. They tell us of your poison. Now we know. Kill them. Give them as they give us. Slay them. Burn their children's laughter onto hell.
Or you kill the drummer up close. I wish they would. Not very often. Up the stage, it looks like a school play.
It's like blobs, lights.
Yeah. I wish they'd fill the crowd a little bit. Much better live. I like seeing what they're doing.
Yeah.
It makes me appreciate what each person's doing more when I see each person doing it. There you go. About the drums or keyboard?
I'm not sure.
Or sound effects. There's like sound effects. Hear that? Like a battle sound. Look at the machine gun fire.
He's on like stand-up drums.
Oh yeah.
Those are some boots.
I noticed that, yeah. He's hitting on the bottom there. He hit something on the bottom and makes that weird that right there. Like a ripping sound.
Keeps like ducking down and hitting something.
Yeah, but it makes that sound.
It's like so. There's a little crowd there.
Yeah, you see a big crowd. But you see it. This is the single they released. This part here was the single.
Long ago, set it to
Quite the crowd there, eh?
Oh, soon the light ours to shape for all time, ours the right. The sun will lead us, our reason to be here.
Love that acoustic background.
Soon the light ours to shape for all time, ours the right. The sun will lead us, our reason to be here.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. That was actually pretty fast. 22 minutes. Honestly, 22 minutes. I was actually surprised it went pretty fast in my eyes, and that's a good sign.
We're going to be divided on this one. I'm going to tell you right off the bat.
Okay, well, let me get should good news, bad news first.
Go with good news first.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm interested. Well, I'm interested to hear your take. I was actually thinking, like I'm not a big the prog music is not really my wheelhouse, and maybe having heard like early Genesis stuff, I'm starting to get more. I get into it easier now than I might have like say 8 months ago.
You have more context than I do. Yeah, I think that's fair.
So it's still not my wheelhouse. It's I don't gravitate towards this type of music, but like I've done with this channel in general, and my other channel is I just want to hear what it is they're trying to do and are they doing it well. This isn't to soften what you might be saying, but I'm saying, but what I like, well, I think it's my first time seeing these live, so I like seeing these guys live. I like seeing what they're doing. I'm really kudos to the lead singer there. I think it's John Anderson is his name. Great vocal work. I love the ending with the acoustic guitar playing and the soft ending and the message of peace and what have you. And so I think I got a kick out of the double drum part they were doing. Great showmanship. But yeah, I still, but to segue into what you may or may not be saying, it's still not my wheelhouse, but I can see they have a huge fan base, and this is their biggest song, or this is their longest song they've recorded, and of note for Yes fans, this is the one that was voted the one they want to see live the most. So we got to do that. So at least we got to experience what Yes fans want us to experience as maybe as reactors or as first time listeners. But what is it you had trouble with there, Nate? What's going on?
Well, I mean, I don't want to
Well, no.
Love
everything. Love everything. Love everything.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say I don't have the context to give a full breakdown of everything that was going on there.
No,
I'm just reacting to what I saw, and I'll be honest, there were some times during that I was just legitimately confused about what was going on and the choices about the sounds.
Like what's for an example?
There's just a couple of times when the keyboardist would come in with this sound, and it just felt like they were almost competing for the airtime a little bit.
Well, that's the problem with prog. We've talked about that. I hear what you're saying. Maybe that's why I could see why they released the last part as a single.
Yeah,
because that was the most cohesive. That was the most cohesive part of the song. But I know you're saying there's a competition of
Well, and I felt maybe I'm just too weird about this. So I looked it up and I started reading some stuff about what people have said about this, and I was right. At least what critics have said. They said this era, this time period was when prog was bloated, when there was just a ton of prog, and that Yes in particular they're sort of the okay, you want an example of prog gone too far? Yes is the example of that.
That's funny.
So kind of
that's a fair that's a fair criticism. The fact that here's the thing, the fact that you picked it up naturally without looking into it, and then looked into it to see if you were off your rocker. Yeah, and you're more of a music guy than I am. So meaning I'm more of how does the music just feel, and what does it make me. So what I said during that cacophony part, where I was like, "Oh, this is where the battle's happening." So the music was intense and crazy and going all over the place. So I was just viewing it as the battle that my mind was ready for. But you, a bit more of a music guy yourself, you listen, you play music, you have a bit of a musical ear. You're like, is this a talent show competition within the band? So that's fair. That's fair. It was a battle of the bands within the song.
And later there's a bunch of drama, and they split up, and there's rotating members, and they kind of struggle to keep together. But
that's fair.
As many prog bands did, is what I understand. There was kind of that sort of feel But I don't know. I was like,
That's fair. No, I don't think you're being.
and I was like, as I'm like, okay, this is about war and peace, so there's supposed to be war, so it's supposed to be
Right.
kind of confusing and everything. And there was some of that where it would like be confusing, and then it would kind of feel like it resolved. But there's always these little hints of things where I was like, oh, that sounds good. Explore that. Oh no, you didn't. No,
Right.
it's so and so's turn next.
How'd you like the last part? I guess
Yeah,
the
it's
unofficial
catchy.
single.
The I can see why that would have been something that they chose to showcase. I was reading more about how like as time went on, they realized, oh, if we shorten our songs, people will like them more. So
That's fair.
so they started to kind of cut them down to shorter. Not that it has to be. Like I like long songs too. I'm just that was something
Wow.
that they kind of changed. They changed their sound apparently.
You got to grab an audience. Like this is radio or Metro Music or MTV. The reality is, if you want to get butts in the seats and ears to your music, you have to get it out there so people can access it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of like I was kind of just confused. I guess that was be the
Sure.
best way. I felt confused during the performance.
All right. So there you go. I think it's a fair reaction. I don't like it when channels lie to placate the listeners. And I don't think you were brutal. I think you were spot on. I think I agree with what you're saying actually too. Your criticism is sound.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And I know that you know that they're talented musicians.
Mhm.
But you recognize there was a little bit, even within that performance, you kind of recognize a bit of a sausage waving contest.
It wasn't obvious. I'll put it that way. It wasn't like
No, I missed it.
you know what I mean. It wasn't like people were like upset on stage, but you could kind of sense that everyone were like, "Hey, this is when I get to do my thing now," and
All right.
and
Yeah,
it was
that's
kind of
funny.
like you can kind of see the seeds of it going. This isn't
Oh,
going
you
to end
see
well.
maybe more individualism than a band. Yeah, interesting.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, oops.
Oops. Whoa.
Well.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Daniel, for that. It was a fun experience, fun discussion, and I appreciate that. And it's fun doing it with Nathan. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See you in the next. Well,
See you
see you in the next one.